What's up, guys? We have another review today. We're going to be reviewing the MIXI 20-inch carry-on spinner. This retails for $159. It comes in a color, multiple colors, but this one in particular is the blackish green. It has a capacity of 41 liters, and it is also expandable to 47 liters once expanded. Let's get into the details of this bag. All right, let's talk about the outside of this bag, the exterior. The bag is fully made of what they call a 3-layer Covestro PC, which is a polycarbonate. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but it is a polycarbonate material, pretty sturdy. It's got on the very front, the lid has some design to it, wavy design here. The rest of the bag itself is smooth on all sides except for the very front. There are knobs on the side of it, so when you put this on its side, it won't touch the ground directly. You can see there it'll be raised slightly. There are 2 handles on the outside of the bag, one on the side here, and then there's one on top. And they aren't padded, but they don't feel uncomfortable at all by any means. And then there are 4 spinner wheels which spin very nicely in all directions. This is, as you can see, this is on a harder surface, so it's going to naturally spin and roll pretty smoothly. Now on carpet it might be a little bit more difficult, but yeah, I imagine it'll still roll fine. But it might have a little bit more resistance when you're rolling it on non-hard surfaces. There is also a built-in TSA lock here, which is very nice. It's a 3-number combination. There's an extendable handle here that goes pretty far up. You can use it's far enough and long enough to where you can easily hang over your baggage that has a luggage pass-through. Not a problem there. Operation goes all the way up to the top. I think there's multiple sizes that you can go, or lengths. And then let's see, the zippers are all YKK zippers. There's the 2 here that you can put into the TSA lock. And then lastly, there's a zipper here that allows you to expand the bag to go from 41 liters of capacity to 47 liters. And I believe it's probably about 1.5 inches or so that it expands. Slip it all the way around here. And you can see here, looks like it expands about 1 inch or so, maybe about 1.5 inches. What do you think? About 1.5 inches. Gives you a pretty good size to go from 41 liters to 47 liters. All right. The overall dimensions of this bag. The total height of this bag is 21.5 inches, and that includes the wheels. The depth of this bag is 9.5 inches, and it's roughly 14 inches in width. Now let's get into the interior of the bag. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the interior of this bag. This has a top opening lid. Unlike traditional bags, usually typically open in the middle, but this one opens on the top, so it has a top lid. There are, on the bottom side of the lid, there's 2 zippered pockets. One of them is a waterproof or liquid-proof wet bag compartment, and then the other is a mesh pocket. And you can see, as you can see there, this is the wet bag, and this is the mesh pocket. The lid itself is held in place using 2 straps here, as you can see. So it doesn't just, when you open it, doesn't just fall over to the other side. You can also with these straps, you can also remove these straps if you do want to have the bag open all the way. But they're there to prevent it from just flopping over. Let me go ahead and show you the inside of the bag here. The inside of the bag has a relatively large compartment, not huge, but there is a tie-down straps, compression straps to keep your belongings in tight. And then there is an extra pocket right here, as you can see, a smaller interior pocket, one. And it isn't completely flat. You can see you can actually feel the ribs where the retractable handle goes. And that's not any different than any other bag of this type. There's always going to be a rib here that doesn't allow you to lay. I wish they would make them to where somehow they could make this completely flat, but it is what it is. All right, that about does it for the inside of the bag. Let me talk about my overall thoughts and my rating for this bag. I'm going to go ahead and talk about my overall impressions of this bag, the pros and cons that I find with it. So there's not a whole lot of cons, to be honest, because I really do like MIXI's line of luggage. Everything they put out has been really good and has impressed me. So the only con I have with this bag is that it's priced at $159.99, which is the same thing as saying $160. And for a bag of this size, that's a carry-on, I find that $160 is a bit steep for this bag. I think that's a little bit expensive, so that's somewhat of a con for me. Let's move on to the pros. The biggest thing for me that I really like about this bag is that it does that no other bag manufacturers do with especially with hard cases, is the bag itself is able to be expanded, which is a rarity that you find on hard-sided spinners. So this bag, the ability to be able to be expanded is a very big positive. The other big plus that I have with this bag is that it's top loading, and I personally prefer a top loading bag versus it split down the middle to where you have two sides. It just makes it easier to pack and unpack. And that's my opinion, but that's what I really like about this. And then it's also very sturdy. It spins really well. I don't doubt that it would be able to spin on uneven surfaces or softer surfaces, because I have another bag similar to this that I've traveled with, and this is essentially almost the same thing, except that this has the ability to be expanded. So yeah, that's what I had. Those are my two biggest positives. All right, let's go ahead and load this bag up to show you give you an idea of its capacity. I'm gonna open this up here, and I've got 2 pants and 2 t-shirts, standard pants and t-shirts in here. Put that in a packing cube. I've got my work clothes, the fire retardant long sleeve Henley, along with some fire retardant pants. Put those in there as well. I have a hoodie in case the weather gets pretty cold. Put that in there, right there. 1 pair of shoes. Put that there. EDC bag and a toiletry kit. And we'll put those in here like that, like so. All right, let me go ahead and close this up. And you can see it packed in, and I don't have this expanded yet, so I could probably fit a little bit more stuff in there. But I would say that's enough material for at least a long weekend. And also it's very good, it's also very good for business travel too, for short business travel trips. My overall rating for this bag, especially for carry-on purposes, if you're going to use this bag for that, is a solid 9 out of 10. As always, if you found this video to be helpful, then go ahead and hit that like button down below, and please consider subscribing to our channel. See you in our next review.